So welcome everyone. I've got some notes. You'll probably see me looking down. So I'm Terry Bone. I am the Royal, I guess it's Royal Chief now. It used to be Royal Can Opener. And then in 1935, they changed the title of the person that's in charge of the club to Royal Chief. This is my wife, Michelle. She's the Royal Chiefette, I think is probably the official title.
Chiefette.
Chiefette. Why don't we have the TCT reps who are on introduce themselves? Tim, I'll cycle through them. Tim, why don't you introduce yourself, where you're at, and what your role is in the club?
I'm Tim Hines. I'm the Southeastern representative of the Tin Can Tourist, and I'm based out of Panama City, Florida.
Awesome. I saw John. Can you introduce yourself? Truett?
Oh, me? Yeah, John Truett, Wyandotte, Michigan. I've been with the club since 3 years after it got resurrected. So got lots of
2001.
photos and mixing and a few other rallies here and there I got invited to host. And so here we are doing it virtual now. This is kind of interesting. So
John's very humble. He's hosted a million rallies for the club. Dennis Blackier, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Dennis Blackier. I'm the Florida State representative for Tin Can Tourist. I'm down in Cape Coral, Florida on the Gulf side, which is near Fort Myers. And I work close with Tim, doing things in Florida. And I try to get a lot of things down here at the south end of the state.
Yeah, Florida's a big state. Needs a lot of, has a lot of rallies and gets a lot of help. I was hoping, I actually saw we have two members in Japan, and one logged in to, I can see when people log into the Zoom meeting, sometimes they're just testing the link, and I saw he logged in. I was so hoping he would be able to attend, but I think it's like 5 a.m. there right now, so maybe the alarm didn't go off. One thing we wanted to talk a little bit about is name tags and membership cards, and the fact that they're the same. So you should have all received when you join the club the membership cards. And really what they're intended for is for you to use them as name tags when you go to rallies. So they have a spot on the back where you can either, this one, had the printed deal where we just stick it on, or you can just take a, Sharpie and write your name, write your nickname, doesn't have to be your full name, whatever you want, but it's good. It's a good way, put it on a lanyard or a shoelace or whatever, a rope, and wear it to the events and wear it around the tents where there's lots of people, because at events, there'll be a couple hundred people potentially. And, we can't remember everyone's names. So it's always good that you wear your name tag, and we can fake it then and go, hi, Denise. You're the big picture on my screen right now. But at least then people can get to know you and learn from you. Thanks for that, Denise. Jason Black, he's joined. Jason, we had TCT reps and people that help the club out introduce themselves. You're going to help us today as the Royal Sergeant for this orientation. Can you introduce yourself, what you do, and what kind of trailer you have?
Can you even see me?
We can't see you.
All right.
We had a lot of echo.
All right, did that take care of the echo problem?
Yes.
All right, good. All right.
But we don't have your video.
There you are.
All right.
There he is.
I don't know how to do it.
Perfect. So introduce yourself. Yeah, introduce yourself, Jason. Looks like you joined.
right.
There you go.
No echo still?
No echo.
Okay. All right. So my name's Jason. My wife and I, Angela, who is not right here right now, we are sort of the shenanigans crew, if you really want to know the honest truth. We're the ones that, try and make sure we welcome everyone and make sure that we have a good time and do what is needed at a rally. I've been standing in for the last, 5 or 6 years as the Royal Sergeant at the orientation meetings and things like that. And
Hold on, Jason.
okay.
Someone's talking.
I'm gonna figure out who's talking and try and mute. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. Because everybody loves Zoom, that's for sure. So like I said, Angela and I have been involved for about 10 years now, which is hard to believe. But like I said, we're part of the shenanigans crew. I have been doing the Royal Sergeant duty for the last 5 or 6 years. And we're just kind of jack of all trades. We have a 64 Airstream named Faye. And that's about it for me, I guess.
And where are you right now? I kind of recognize that place.
This is our home basement bar. So if that gives you any idea of like why we're the shenanigating crew, that's a good reason why. That's why they keep it around, really. It's the bar.
All good things get started down there.
Some bad things.
All right, so we've got 20 minutes left. I'm pretty sure we can get through the orientation and that, because we're not going to make everyone sing our song, because singing over Zoom goes horribly wrong. But so just a little information about why we do the new member orientation at rallies. One, it's to introduce the new members to the club. Obviously. The other thing is it's usually done the first night of a rally, and it sets the tone for the rally. It gets people into the spirit of the rally, because it's some singing, it's standing up, it's a little bit of humor and fun. And then it helps with the new members because it gets them involved immediately. So it provides them with a sense of unity with the group. And it gets everyone kind of that sense of togetherness that's important to kind of kick off a rally. It is a formal tradition that's been going on with the club for a long time. I'm not sure exactly when it started, but it's been going on probably since I'm guessing, late 20s or early 30s of when the orientation was going on, because some of these things weren't even around until that time. So that's probably the best guess of when the full orientation started. One of the formalities, there's kind of two formalities that happen. One is at the beginning with the Royal Sergeant gives a little introduction and declaration, and one at the very end, which is kind of what's called the obligation of members. So Jason and I will do the Royal Sergeant piece of it. So it usually starts with the person who is designated the Royal Chief or the host of the event. They'll designate somebody as to play the role of the Royal Sergeant, and Jason's been doing that for a lot of years now. So my part starts, Royal Sergeant, are you satisfied that only those candidates for membership or members of the TCT who are entitled to be present are within the Zoom meeting? Normally we would say tent. And then Jason comes back. Jason, you're on mute. You're rolling your R's. And
I'm rolling my R's. I was doing it too. Chief, I am satisfied that only those persons, candidates for membership or members of the TCT who are entitled to be present are within this Zoom meeting.
Awesome. So that kind of gets things started. And then what we do is we typically ask our new members, we normally are doing this in a tent. We ask them to kind of stand up and get to the middle of the tent so we can see how many people are there. But with a Zoom meeting, my wife said,
We have to be careful that people don't stand up because they might be in their underwear.
so you can stay,
You would
all
think
can
of that,
stay
Michelle.
seated. We don't need to see what's below the camera. But again, the goal of asking people to stand up is really, we want to recognize who the new members are. And Jason kind of said, one of the things that a lot of our volunteers and the people that help us do is go and make sure that the first timers to a rally and the new members to the events are welcomed. So we get to, somehow we try and designate new members, maybe with something on their member tag, or a color, a ribbon, or something like that, so we know who they are. And that way, if we see people, we can introduce ourselves and we can see if they have any questions. So the goal of having them stand is to just visually see who they are. And it's surprising, every time we have a rally, we think the tent is just filled with the same people we've seen last year. And then we ask, who are the new members? And 10 to 20% stand up and get to the middle. It always surprises people how many new people are at a rally. So the new member induction is really about learning a few different secrets that have been with the club for a long time. There's 5 things. My parents, who ran the club for a long time, would usually skip one of the items. So some of the old time members may not know one of the items. So it's the secret sign, the secret handshake, the secret password, the club motto, which is the item that normally gets skipped over, and the TCT song. So we will start first with the secret sign. So if you saw the email or you saw the Facebook event post, you saw the secret sign, because there was a picture of a lady's hand doing the secret sign, and the lady who that picture was one of the original members of the club, and Michelle will demonstrate the secret sign. So the secret sign is the C for tin can. It's the can part, and it's easy to remember because it's the same the same hand gesture you would make as holding a beer, and it should be your right hand. Some people will do it with their left hand, which is, for if you're looking at it now, would be backwards to the person that's looking at it. So it should be your right hand, so the person who you're showing the secret sign to can see it clearly as a C. All right, so that's easy enough. The next secret is the handshake. If you get a chance, at some point, go on the Tin Can Tourist website and click on TCT info on the menu, and you'll see new members orientation. And on there is a video, and all this information is actually on the website. Don't tell anybody, it's a secret. But you can watch the video of a spoof of the handshake that was done at one of the rallies. Very complicated handshake that we were telling people to watch. Oh, good. Jason and John have put links up there, so you can watch it. It was Michelle and our daughter doing a very complicated handshake and trying to convince everyone that they had to learn it. And there is actually a daughter and her mother who were able to almost replicate the secret handshake that these guys did, which was like about a minute worth of slapping hands and bumping hips and things like that. But at the very beginning of that is the real secret handshake. And let's see if we can do it. So it's simply a sawing motion. Just kind of grab hands, and instead of shaking up and down, just make long sawing motions back and forth. So that's the TCT handshake. And I'm not sure why that would be, to tell you the truth, because I can't see a relation to the club or anything else. Maybe they just wanted to keep their distance from people. I'm not sure. All right, the third item that's a secret. Oh, cutting firewood. That John's got the best answer right there. Was cutting firewood for the fire pit. The third piece is the secret password. There's a little controversy, I think, in this, or at least there's controversy in my mind. The secret password is not up to 2021's password standards. It doesn't have uppercase, lowercase. It doesn't include an asterisk or a number or a sign. It doesn't have to be so many characters. It's really 1919 password standards, because it's fairly easy to remember. So the secret password is tin can backwards. Now here's the controversy. Is it start at the very end of the whole tin can and work your way backwards, or do each word backwards? As far as we can tell, it was each individual word backwards. So it's tin backwards, which is knit, and it's can backwards, which is knack. So it's knit, knack, patty, whack, easy to remember is the password, knit, knack.
Is that for just when you walk by and somebody says, "What's the password?" and I go, "Knick-knack."
We can hear you, Mike and Lauren.
Okay, good. When do we use the password?
Good. You can use the password however you would like to use the password. If you need to find out if somebody truly is a Tin Can Tourist member, ask them for the password.
Oh, okay, thank you.
They probably won't remember it, and you'll have to let them know, but if they even know that there is a password to begin with, that's probably a good start. All right, the fourth item is not a secret. It's just something the club adopted, and that was the TCT motto. So the TCT motto is probably what you remember as the golden rule. If you're into Bible verses, you can find that at Matthew 7:12 and Luke 6:31. And it is the do unto others as you have them do unto you. Right? So it really is, treat others and others in the club as you'd want them to treat you, so it's a really nice rule, a nice rule to live by, and the club adopted it early on. The fifth and last item that we teach our members is the TCT song. And yes, Denise, you get extra points for camping right now. The TCT song, my dad always explained it to people because it was probably the most recent thing that they may be aware of, as he called it the Barney song. But it goes back a long time in history. So this is the More We Get Together is the title of it. And Michelle will sing it for you in a second here. But
you're gonna help me.
I'll help. But the More We Get Together was actually written in 1926, so it was really close to when the club came around. So that's probably why it was adopted. It was written by some British songwriters, and actually found a couple, and Jason Black will appreciate this, a couple other organizations that adopted this. And somebody put the lyrics up there, which is good in the chat, so you can see the lyrics. one of the groups that adopted this was called the Ancient Order of Froth Blowers. The Ancient Order of Froth Blowers. And so I said, I've got to figure out, I've got an idea of what a froth blowing is, but I need to get the definition here. So the Ancient Order of Froth Blowers was around from 1924 to 1931, so right around the time that the Tin Can Tourists started. And they were a humorous British charitable organization. And their goal was to foster the noble art and gentle and healthy pastime of froth blowing amongst gentlemen of leisure and ex-soldiers. And so one of their goals was to raise money for children's organizations and children's charities. And so they were around a brief time. And I'm happy that we have the exact same official song as the Ancient Order of Froth Blowers. The other group that used it for a while, and I'm not sure exactly when, was the Scouts. So the Boy Scouts and Scouts Club used the More We Get Together. And of course, the Tin Can Tourists adopted it as well, probably not too long after it was written in 1926, probably in the 30s. So we're singing.
Sure, if you
All
want
right.
to.
The more we get together, together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Because your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. All right, I saw a lot of that. Good job. So normally what we do at the rallies and at new members orientation is we have everyone that's been at a rally and been a member for a time sing it once through. And then we have the new members sing it back to us. And we all cheer like crazy because they did a great job. And then we all sing it one more time together. As an entire group, and it's a good way to kind of kick off the event. All right, the very last thing before we get to the special prize, I said an award that I said if people came, I was going to offer to them, is what's called the obligation of members. So if you're a new member, if you truly are a new member and you're on this call, this is what we'd ask of you. And really what this is intended for is to let you know that we want you to obey the rules of the camp, obey the rules of the Tin Can Tourist, have a great time while you're doing it, and make sure that you know you're representing the club, right? So it's not just you being there as an individual, but at the rally and beyond the rally, you're part of the club, and we want to make sure you're representing us appropriately so that we're happy to have you as a member. So it goes like this. The obligation of members is as follows. So I promise on my word of honor to obey all camp rules and to disclose none of the Tin Can Tourist secrets to those not qualified to receive the same. So that's important. Don't run out and be sharing all these important secret things that are published on our website, because no one will find them on our website. And if they ask you if they're not a member, do not tell them.
It's a good thing I didn't disclose those on that radio interview all those years ago.
Exactly, right. You published it across the airways and all southeastern Michigan. And then it goes as well as I will at all times conduct myself in a manner credible to the Tin Can Tourists. And the last thing is, if you accept these obligations, indicate by saying, I do. So everyone needs to say,
I do.
I do.
Awesome. So now you are officially TCT members. Congratulations. And what we do at our rallies is, once this is completed, is we offer them an official Tin Can Tourist membership pin. Now, this is this truly is a replica of the membership pin from the early 30s, I believe. We give the folks who come to the rally, go through all of this song and dance and sing for us, the membership pin.